Moon at noon. A Perfect Homestay, Part 3, The Queen and the Rebirth. In the autumn of 2023, Mohan Sharma climbed a rocky path above Almora's misty valley, his boots ground gravel worn by Katuri traders centuries ago. Below, Takar Ram Singh's 1835 haveli loomed. It was a Kumaoni mansion stone and deodar wood layered without mortar. Its double-skin walls were cracked like the Takar's wealth under British taxes. Lotus carvings, Chand dynasty-inspired, adorned the facade, moss-eaten but regal, their rhythmic stone-wood corners glowing with dovetail manvi braziers. A wild apple orchard encircled it. Red fruit gleamed in the orchard. Nearby, a 1692 body built to defy drought crumbled. Its stone steps were buried under gnarled roots. The trees, mist-heavy, swayed over the bari's ghosts, guarding the valley's silver river snaking through pines. Mohan, wiry, his heart a ledger, saw profit. City bumpkins hungry for a haunting experience will pay for this palace, he muttered. He descended, easing through the rusted gate forged in Haldwani's bazaars. The courtyard choked on weeds, the hall's mosaic floor, laid for a Takar's bride, shattered. Kathkuni walls stood firm, mud-plastered interiors warm, slate roofs sagging. Deodar beams, carved with Bhootnath mantras, groaned. Upstairs, an attic held relics, cracked urns, a shrine etched with Skanda Purana verses. Mohan's torch lit a locked door, its lotus-carved handle mirroring the bari's steps. Inside, a statue stood, lotus-crowned, its stone eyes sharp, pristine. Older than the thickest, Mohan whispered, chilled. A stone tablet under a crate read Anjali's shrine, 1872. Anjali, the Thakur's wife, hung herself in the orchard, elders swore, her Bhootki spirit lingering. Mohan laughed. He wondered why the ghosts in these parts were always unfulfilled women. He quickly dismissed the thought and hid the stone tablet. Tales did not deter him, but his brother's face, lost to death, flashed in his mind, causing his fingers to tremble. Over 18 months, Mohan's wallet shaped the haveli's rebirth, a sustainable Kumaoni gem rivaling Almora's palaces. Dharma, the lanky Nepali who carried salt in his pocket, while helping the restoration and renovation. The tasks included sweeping floors and terracing the orchard into stone steps. This work revived the bari's geometry with lotus-carved benches. These benches formed an amphitheater for storytelling. Vanachari haunts those trees, Dharma warned. His salt was a prayer for his sister. She was lost to fire. Her Kumaoni lullaby was haunting him. Mohan scoffed, make sure your friendly ghost greet my guests with grace. Mohan got a good deal for solar-powered Tapkeshwar chandeliers, teak beds, and Wi-Fi routers, blending tech with tradition. The hall gleamed with Almora slate mosaics in Kumaoni mandalas, Kathkuni walls restored, their stonewood rhythm glowing under mud plaster. A courtyard atrium had a lotus-carved fountain fed by a rainwater bari. It bloomed with a living wall of bhang, tulsi, and mint. This space doubled as a yoga lounge. A grand veranda wrapped the second floor, its carved jailas and retractable bamboo canopy framing river views for stargazing. The attic library maintained its Bhootnath shrine. Kumaoni wool rugs and hemp curtains softened ensuite guest rooms. The rooms featured heated floors and copper basins. Tools vanished, found by the orchard gate near Dharma's footprints. Was Dharma scarred by village feuds, sabotaging the work? Bhoot, a shaggy dog with cold black eyes, growled nightly, eating carrots. Mohan locked the gate, pausing at his brother's letter. The Takar's curse muttered in chai stalls, gnawing at him. In early 2024, as Mohan haggled over paint in the half-tiled hall, a woman's voice boomed like a holly drum. Mohan Sharma, you're thin as a Thakur's dagger. Krupa was wide-shouldered. Her scarf was bright as Almora's festival banners. She swept in, basket steaming with mandua rotis and bhang ki chutney. I'm your cook. Bazaar gossip says you're starving, she declared, claiming the hearth. Mohan froze, wallet twitching. I won't pay for a loudmouth. Who sent you? Krupa sliced potatoes, her knife glinting like an 1857 rebellion blade. Maybe Anjali's Bhootki, maybe the wind, she said, eyes sharp as the statues, a fleeting frown crossing her face. She tossed a roti to Dharma, who fumbled it, clutching salt. Eat rock hands or you'll fade. Dharma's eyes flicked to the orchard. We don't need a cook. Her stories chill me, he muttered, salt for his sister's ghost. Mohan crossed his arms. And I don't trust your knife or bazaar poison tales. Leave or I'll call the village. Krupa laughed, loud as a Kumani song. Your stomach's grumbling shamelessly, stingy heart. She set out aloo gutka and chutney, one meal free. Then decide, starved by 18 months of Dharma's burnt rotis, they ate. The flavors, spiced, rich, melted their resolve. Mohan groaned. This is witchcraft. In the courtyard, orchard apples glinting, Mohan whispered, She's a bizarre storm. I'd rather eat your ashdal, Dharma grimaced. My rotis could kill Bhoot, but her knife, her husband's death, Venachari wives. Mohan grinned. Two half-starved hermits, us scared of a woman's voice. My brother'd mock us, no woman's touch since his wife bolted. Dharma clutched salt. Her food's cold, but cold's costly. And that knife? Mohan nodded. Guess he'll pay for her rotis, save us hiring a chef. But we watch her, they returned, Mohan grumbling. You're hired, Krupa, but no free meals. Krupa winked, knife flashing. Stories of free, stingy heart. The haveli bloomed, old and new entwined. Kathkuni walls with lotus carvings met hemp curtains. The terraced orchard gleamed. Its amphitheater was cozy under apples red as thakar rubies. The veranda's jalars danced in the breeze, its canopy framing stars. But the statue haunted them. One night in 2025, it toppled, splintering a rotted shelf. Bhoot growled downstairs, shunning the stairs. Mohan snapped, Bad wood! But Dharma whispered, Bhootki's wrath for disturbing her shrine. Krupa lit a ghee lamp, chanting Garwali verses, her eyes dim. Anjali's robe sways. Mohan saw Dharma's hammer nearby. Was Dharma haunted by curses, staging it? Or Krupa, her prayers too polished? Mohan righted the statue, its eyes boring in. The ledger in his room, burned with orchard, sees all. Bhoot's growl echoed, the orchard answering. One moonlit night, eating aloo gutka on the veranda, squeals erupted. Wild boars stormed the orchard, uprooting saplings. Mohan grabbed a shovel, shouting, Scare them! Krupa waved a torch, yelling, while Dharma hurled stones. Bhoot charged, a Kumani guardian, his barks like Bhootnath hymns, driving the herd back. A boar grazed his flank, drawing blood. The boars fled, Mohan exhaled, Krupa dropped her torch, panting. That dog's a warrior. Dharma bandaged Bhoot, eyes wet, humming his sister's tune. Mohan saw Krupa's knife among the apples. Fell in the rush, she laughed too sharp. Did she lure the boars? Dharma's hands could have guided them, craving ghost-proof. Mohan's axe gleamed by the gate. Bhoot growled at a shadow. Raju, a village boy, whispered, Boars shun Anjali's trees, something called them. Rain lashed the haveli in April 2025, its hall aglow with solar chandeliers. They huddled by the kitchen, sharing Krupa's balmetai, her hand trembling. Krupa teased, Your wallet's tighter than a thakar's vault. Mohan shot back, Your voice scares the ghosts? Dharma laughed, then faltered, voice breaking, humming a Kumoni lullaby. My sister sang this by our fire. She burned when I was 10. Village blamed a Vanachari. Krupa's eyes dimmed, gripping his hand, voice cracking. My husband drank himself dead. I begged him to stop, but folks said poison. Mohan softened, clutching his brother's letter. My brother hung himself over debts. I sent him away, cursing him. This haveli's my penance. Bhoot nuzzled Dharma, then Krupa, finally Mohan. Each petting him in silence, their pain a fragile bond. But Mohan's death, Krupa's regret, Dharma's rituals hinted at murder. Bhoot growled at the orchard's shadows. Krupa whispered, Anjali's here. Mohan snapped, It's rain, his voice breaking. The haveli stood ready, mandala tires gleaming, Tapkeshwar lamps lit, a sign, Sharma's Homestay. But the night before the Singh family's arrival, chaos struck. Apples fell, thudding like steps. The statue tipped, cracking a tile. Whispers rose, Bhootki-like, from the library. A guest book fell open, scrawled with Anjali watches. Mohan grabbed a lantern. Bad shelves. Krupa clutched her knife. Dharma his salt. Bhoot led to the orchard. A rope tangled, knotted like Anjali's. Mohan froze. Was a killer here? Krupa pointed to human footprints. Anjali warns us. Dharma chanted. Bhoot unearthed a lotus-carved stone. Mohan scoffed, Village kids! But his heart raced. Was Krupa staging it? Dharma hiding murder? Or Mohan blind to his darkness? Bhoot growled at a haveli window, a shadow moving. The Singhs were due tomorrow. Mohan locked the guest book, hands shaking. The orchard's shadows stretched long. The night before the Singhs' arrival, a nervous energy loomed over the haveli. It was a stark contrast to the previous days of frantic preparation. Mohan, usually a picture of pragmatic efficiency, found himself pacing the halls, checking and rechecking the arrangements. 20 guests. The homestay's success hinged on this. and the weight of it pressed down on him. A successful week would silence his brother's taunts and prove his own worth. But a nagging worry gnawed at him. What if the villagers' ghost stories spooked the Singhs? He could almost hear their complaints. Their laughter would turn to unease as tales of Anjali and the Bhoot filled the ancient halls. He devised a plan. There was a feast at the village panchayat. It was a chance to educate the locals about the haveli's history. This was presented as charming folklore, not spine-chilling horror. It emphasized the modern amenities, the sensitive renovation, and the warm hospitality. He hoped to subtly discourage any ghost-related gossip that might reach his guests' ears. Krupa, for once, was uncharacteristically subdued, her usual banter replaced by a quiet watchfulness. She moved through the kitchen with a fluid grace. She prepared a feast of Kumaoni delicacies. The aroma filled the haveli, a strange mix of homely comfort and an underlying disquiet. She meticulously prepared enough food for 20, her movements precise and economical. Even Dharma, who had initially seemed unfazed by the impending arrival, now appeared tense. His hand was never far from his pouch of salt. He muttered under his breath in Nepali. The Singhs were scheduled to arrive mid-afternoon. Mohan had arranged for their rooms. The family would occupy the newly renovated suites on the second floor. These suites have en-suite bathrooms and views of the valley. The children would be in the interconnected rooms closer to the common hall. He had ensured that each room had fresh linens, extra blankets, and locally sourced toiletries. Krupa had planned the week's menu with a delicious mix of traditional Kumaoni dishes. The menu also includes some more familiar fare. She kept in mind potential dietary restrictions. He had even stocked the common areas with a selection of teas, coffee, and snacks. He also arranged for a bonfire night in the orchard. As the final touches were being made, a sense of foreboding settled over the haveli. The ancient stones seemed to absorb the light and deepen the shadows. The wind whispered through the eaves. It carried with it the faint echo of voices long gone. The haveli itself seemed to awaken from its slumber. It was like a beast stretching its limbs. It was ready to swallow the new arrivals whole. Moon at half